Welcome to the Wild Wisdom Field Notes, the place where we walk between worlds with a notebook, a warm drink, and the old lore humming at our heels. Today we're stepping into the November threshold, the liminal months, where the nights stretch out, the air grows still, and the dream world gets a little louder. Our ancestors didn't face this season empty-handed. They turned to three powerful herbs: Mugwort, Cedar, and Rosemary. Each one guards a different doorway. Each one carries its own old world wisdom. And together they shape the way humans have navigated darkness, memory, and spirit for thousands of years. November has always been considered a between time. Not quite fall, not quite winter. In Celtic and Germanic lands, this period was called the dark hinge of the year. Slavic cultures saw it as the season when the dead wandered closest. And in Appalachia, you'll still hear people say, "This is the month the dreams get teeth." Energetically, our subconscious becomes more sensitive. Our intuition sharpens. We sleep heavier, but dream deeper. And that's where today's plant allies come in. Mugwort is the classic dream herb, the herb of night travelers, seers, and liminal walkers. Folklore tells us hung over beds to keep nightmares away, burned to invite ancestral messages, carried by midwives for protection, used by travelers to avoid the wandering dead, and added to baths to open intuitive sight. Celtic practitioners believed mugwort didn't create visions, it simply cleared the fog so you could see what was already standing at the edge of your awareness. Germanic lore called it the herb that remembers the old roads. In Dreamwork, mugwort acts like a lantern. It doesn't force anything, it illuminates. So, where mugwort opens the door, cedar stands guard at it. Cedar is one of the most widely revered protective plants on Earth. From indigenous North American nations to Nordic forest traditions, this tree carries heavy spiritual authority. Traditional teachings say that cedar marks sacred ground, calls in the ancestors, wards off illness, protects the home in winter, drives away wandering energies, and strengthens the body's spiritual boundary. In many cultures, cedar smoke was the final barrier before sleep, especially in the dark months when spirits roamed the most. A Lakota teaching describes cedar as the tree that remembers every footstep that came before yours. Burning cedar is like drawing a spiritual line in the snow that says, "My house, my ancestors, my boundaries." And then there's rosemary, the herb that carries memory across generations. Rosemary has two consistent themes across thousands of years: memory and protection. Mediterranean students wore rosemary crowns during exams to sharpen the recall. Medieval households burned it during the winter feasts for purification. Early American settlers hung it in kitchens to keep out malicious airs. But rosemary also holds a gentler thread: honoring the dead, remembering loved ones, strengthening the voice, clarifying the mind, and calling in ancestral blessings. In many traditions, rosemary is burned in November for remembrance, a soft invocation of those who came before. Working with the trio, mugwort opens the dream door, cedar protects the threshold, and rosemary helps you remember what rises from the dream. Together they create the ritual ecosystem, a spiritual weather pattern, perfectly suited for November's intuitive landscape. You can use them separately, but when combined intentionally, they form a full cycle: dream, protection, memory, integration. Thank you for exploring these liminal herbs with me today. If you try Dreamwork with Mugwort, boundary cleansing with Cedar, or memory rituals with Rosemary, reflect on it in your Wild Wisdom journal. Notice what shifts. This has been Wild Wisdom Field Notes, where we learn to read the old world with modern eyes. I'll see you in the next entry.